Valentine, and I am Brooklyn's mom, or Brooklyn's owner. I'm also a registered nurse and have been for many years. I'm currently on faculty at Brigham Young University College of Nursing.
In January of 2012, Brooklyn's family noticed that something was different.
Diabetes in the dog is due to the pancreas no longer producing insulin anymore, and it's immune-mediated, so the immune system has destroyed those cells that produce insulin.
About a little over a year ago, developed classic signs of diabetes, which is polyuria and polydipsia, meaning increased urination and increased thirst.
They come in, and usually they've lost a lot of weight. They're eating ravenously, they're drinking, and they're eating a lot. Body at this point, they're going to be sick because they don't have insulin, so in order to get energy, they're going to start metabolizing their muscle tissue, so they're breaking down muscle. A lot of times they're going to become what we call ketotic, breaking down that muscle, and they become sick. So
in type 1 diabetes, the immune system attacks insulin-making beta cells, getting rid of the insulin produced in the pancreas. Without insulin, glucose cannot attach to cell receptors. The cell cannot communicate with the glucose and get the energy needed to function. Instead, the glucose remains in the bloodstream. This miscommunication of cells causes severe problems, which is why it is so important that dogs with type 1 diabetes get started on insulin right away. Once the insulin takes, cell communication is again possible.
Make sure you don't have an air bubble in there. It's 15. So for dogs, the best way to inject insulin, you want to give it in the subcutaneous tissue. And they have a lot of subcutaneous tissue right here. So you pinch, get a nice firm pinch. You go into the subcutaneous tissue, inject the insulin, count to 5 so it doesn't track back out. Take out the needle. Good puppy, good puppy. Shake it off.
Recent research has shown a connection between type 1 diabetes in canines and the IL-4 receptor and the IL-10 genes. Dogs showing these alleles are much more likely to contract diabetes. Dogs that seem to be diabetic resistant are often heterozygous and don't show the gene, though they may be carriers. Dogs that are susceptible to diabetes express equal homozygous dominant and heterozygous genes.
I researched about diabetes in dogs and discovered that miniature schnauzers have an increased likelihood of this happening.
One of the controversial issues about the heritability of diabetes is the breed of canine. Research evidence shows that smaller dogs are more likely to have the alleles that make them susceptible to diabetes, while larger dogs are less likely to have those alleles. However, many vets claim they see diabetes in all sorts of dogs, purebred, mixes, large, as well as smaller dogs.
We've thought about this in our practice, but we've seen it in big dogs, in little dogs, in fat dogs, and skinny dogs. We've seen it across the board. We really can't pinpoint it.
One of the many complications of diabetes is the development of cataracts. This development can occur rapidly and virtually overnight. The dog will go to bed able to see and wake up almost completely blind.
Very, very common. People come in all the time. Yesterday, the eyes were clear, and today they are completely opaque white, and they can't see it. It can happen just that fast. But the dogs are very adaptable, and they adjust very well.
Why should we care about diabetes mellitus in canines? Why should we bother studying the genetics of the disease? Dogs are companions to humans. This little dog has been part of my family for 8 years. But just as important is the fact that diabetes in dogs shows many similarities with type 1 diabetes in humans. The care and study of these dogs will hopefully lead us to a better understanding and possible cure for diabetes. A cure not just for canines, but for humans as well.